This episode is brought to you by the Regional Air Quality Council. This summer, go wild for Front Range air quality and leave the car at home and walk, bike, or scoot shorter distances to reduce ground level ozone. Remember, to reduce that ground level ozone, you have to turn your car off and definitely don't idle with the AC on. Created from pollutants like car exhaust, ozone is the Front Range's biggest air quality issue and the leading cause of respiratory problems. Know when it matters most to take these simple steps for better air. Sign up for summer ozone text alerts by sending Better Air CO to 21000 or visit simplestepsbetterair.org. That's simplestepsbetterair.org. Today on CityCast Denver, as summer temperatures rise, how do you keep cool in the mile-high city? From tubing in one of our recreational waterways to wandering a perfectly air-conditioned retail store, we're bringing back this episode from last year on our best ways to beat the heat. Today is Monday, June 24th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Producer Paul Karolyi, hello.
Hey, Bree, good morning.
And producer Olivia, Jewell Love, hi.
Hi, Bree.
And of course, newsletter editor Peyton Garcia, hi.
Hey, Bree.
So we are all here to talk about how hot it is, because if there's anything people in Colorado love to do, it's talk about the weather. But we're finally hitting, it's like the legit thing we talk about all the time. But we're hitting that summer, late summer stride of total bananas temperatures. So that's why we're here. We want to figure out, or we want to share with our listeners some ways that we've come up with to keep cool. So maybe you don't have air conditioning in your house, or maybe, I don't know, you're like me and your swamp cooler's like really not cutting it. But also sometimes it's just nice to get out of the house, but it's really hard to do when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. So we've come up with two different categories of places or things you can go to or do to stay cool. Our first category is how to stay cool for cheap and or free. Paul, do you want to start us off with your idea?
Yeah, so there's one place that you're going to have to book ahead for next year. This is a think ahead thing because they require months to book a tour ahead of time, but it sounds really cool. The National Science Foundation Ice Core Facility. This is in Lakewood. It's like a laboratory for ice. They get ice core samples from all over the world, and it's like a giant freezer. And you can go walk in there and see all the science and talk to all the scientists wearing their parkas, and it looks really cool. So I am recommending the Colorado Ice Works, which is a company based in Englewood that supplies custom cut ice for cocktail bars and large cut custom ice for ice sculptors.
I guess you never think about where those come from, right? I've seen those ice sculpture competitions. That ice is not naturally grown in the environment. Someone makes it.
No one's climbing a mountain to hack that off of a glacier or anything.
My freezer's not big enough for that.
Well, the freezer they got down in Englewood is a 20-degree, 1,600 square foot freezer. They don't have any retail space. I talked to someone on the phone. They said they'd be happy to give you a tour. Maybe you can see a demo, watch someone do some ice sculpting. But honestly, this just sounds really cool. This is where they make that like crystal clear ice for like fancy cocktails like L5 and Tavernetta and Death & Co. According to 5280, all get their ice from Colorado Ice Works.
Oh, so these are like... They make the ice that like goes in fancy drinks.
Yeah.
Is
like
what
the
you're
spheres
saying.
and the cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the more you know.
That's cool. Okay, I love it.
Yeah, go have an ice adventure.
Olivia, you're next. What's your free and or cheap way to cool off?
All right, guys. Hop in the Subaru Outback. We're going to IKEA.
Ooh.
That's a good one, Olivia.
No.
That is a good one.
So
I have to push back. No, but go ahead.
All right, you haven't even heard what we're doing at IKEA yet.
What are we doing at
State your
IKEA,
case.
Olivia?
We're going on an IKEA scavenger hunt.
Oh.
So I found 1,000,000 of these, which I think is super funny, and I love it. And all ages. So you just pull up your friendly Pinterest board and search scavenger hunt, IKEA scavenger hunt, and then you can find all these lovely lists, or you can make your own. So taking pictures of different stuffed animals, finding something with the funniest name, finding 6 of the same colored object, just like as far as your imagination will go. And just that is a day to spend in IKEA, because you don't even have to spend money when you go in IKEA. You can just hang out in there all day, eat lunch in there. Have you had IKEA lunch?
Have a nap on your bed of choice.
Yeah.
Hit up those massage chairs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who's going to notice you in there all day? You can
That's a
blend
good
in.
point.
Just look Scandinavian.
Well, Paul, that would be you, Paul. Go right ahead.
I would enjoy a day at IKEA, an intentionally
Yeah.
nothing day at IKEA.
Yes, just spend the time. It's cold in there. You know, they've got it cranked up.
Can I send one of you guys to do my IKEA return then? Because I can't bring myself to go back in that place. I can't stand it.
Wow.
We'll talk off mic.
I love having a purpose. I think this is the genius of your idea, Olivia. You go in with a purpose.
Seriously, get your iced drink or go pick up something at the IKEA food hall and then go walk around and find all your silly tasks on your scavenger hunt.
We'll share Olivia's favorite IKEA scavenger hunt Pinterest board in our show notes if you want to know which one she goes with. Peyton, what about you?
Yeah. Okay. So my free/cheap option. So it's free that you don't have to buy anything, but it does require gas money.
That's
so
okay.
It's a little bit of a cheat in that way. But my answer when it's really hot and I'm trying to get out of the heat and I don't want to be running my AC all day, I hop in the car and I head up to the mountains. I head to the Big Thompson and I just find a nice little pull-off spot. It's a great place to fish if you're a fisher. We string up the hammock. We sit in the trees. It's just the elevation makes it just a little cooler and you're in the shade and you can be up there all day long. And if driving is not accessible to you, check out the Mustang Pegasus shuttle. That'll
Good
take
call.
you up. Yeah, it's like $20 and it takes you up from Denver to a variety of mountain towns. It doesn't have to be the Big Thompson, which is, by the way, near Estes Park. Just saying. If you want to swing by Estes, grab some lunch, go into the shops. Just get out, go into the mountains.
Love it, Peyton. We're so on the same wavelength. Bree, I think that means it's your turn.
It is. It is my turn. And originally I was going to say go to the mall, but that's like an obvious one. Who doesn't know you go to the mall to cool off? So my other idea is there are a ton of free days at museums around the city. Pretty much every month you can find one. So it takes a little bit of planning, kind of like Paul's, but the first Saturday of every month at MCA Denver is just a penny. And Museo de las Americas is free every first Friday. So I also think this is sometimes I have a hard time getting out of the house, even though there's an exhibit I really want to see really bad. So let this be your motivator. Grab one of those free days and go check out one of the museums, enjoy our art. And honestly, those places have to be cool because you have to keep art at a certain temperature. So
Yeah,
you
those
know
places
it's gonna
are
be
always cold. And
Yeah.
I think just like with Olivia's, I think that's such a good pick, Bree, because it's an activity that will take you several hours.
This episode is brought to you by the Coldwell Banker Denver Century Ride. Cycle the city this year with the Coldwell Banker Denver Century Ride in partnership with CityCast Denver. For 13 years, this event has been Denver's ultimate urban cycling tour. You can discover the Metro's most bikeable streets, trails, lanes, and parks. The Century Ride is on Saturday, September 28th, and starts and finishes at the shops at Northfield. Participants can choose to ride 25, 50, 85, or 100-mile courses. The courses will be supported with aid stations, police details, and bike mechanics the whole way. This ride benefits Bicycle Colorado, the state's leading cycling advocacy organization. For more information, check out denvercenturyride.com. Now through July 15th, get 10% off your registration. Again, that's denvercenturyride.com. This episode is brought to you by Denver Health. Heading to Winter Park this summer? Don't forget, Denver Health's Winter Park Medical Center is right there for you at the base of the resort. Whether it's a routine checkup, a pulled muscle from hiking, or even altitude sickness, Denver Health is here for you. Denver Health offers primary care, urgent care, sports medicine, emergency services, and so much more. The Winter Park Medical Center serves the community with men's and women's wellness visits, pediatric care, prenatal care, sick visits, and radiology services. The location is optimal for connecting with visitors and locals all around the Grand County area. From wellness exams and immunizations to managing chronic illness, Denver Health has you covered. Denver Health's Winter Park Medical Center is open all year long to ensure you're always taken care of. For more information, visit denverhealth.org/winterpark. That's denverhealth.org/winterpark. This episode is brought to you by Young People for All People, a leading voice for young people in Colorado focused on building the next generation's power. Primary election day is June 25th. But hold up, what is a primary election and how can you vote? Head to neweraColoradoAction.org for a one-stop shop of all the information you need to vote in your party's primary election by 7 p.m. on June 25th. In Colorado, it's never too late to register to vote. You can register to vote or update your registration at a voter service center in your county. Just be in line by 7 p.m. on Election Day. And yes, students can vote as long as they've lived in Colorado for at least 22 days before Election Day. So as long as you've lived in Colorado since June 3rd, you're good to vote. Find out if you have the chance to vote for a youth agenda champion in the Denver area on June 25th by visiting neweraColoradoAction.org. This ad is brought to you by Young People for All People, a leading voice for young people in Colorado focused on building the next generation's power. This ad is also paid for by Young People for All People, Christina Solis, registered agent. This ad is not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. And we're back and we're talking about ways to cool off in Colorado. We just went through our free ways or cheap ways to do it. And this category is literally, I will spend any money to cool off. I won't think money is no object. How do I cool off in and around Denver? Olivia, do you want to start this one?
Yeah. So I'm going tubing in Golden. I will pay any price for the tube that they are going to gig me for. I'm going to have to pay, some silly price to rent a tube. I don't care. I'm paying for it. I'm going to float down the river, but I'm going to buy a super expensive lunch, probably at the Golden Mill or somewhere over there by the river. I'm going to do the dumb pour your own beer thing where it's mostly foam and I spend $30 on half a glass of beer, but it's very novel and I'm so hot that I don't care. I will pay whatever they want because they have the misting fans in that place and I will pay because I am desperate.
I love
So I will pay what they
fan.
want.
Me too.
Yes, it's amazing, especially after you've been tubing. Perfect. And then they've got the ice cream stand. At that point, if I've had a couple beers, I want a lot of ice cream. So I don't care what they're asking. I will buy the triple scoop.
You will
I will
scoop
do it. So any add-on. And then, if it's been a long day and I'm sunburned, like maybe I'll stop in one of those tourist shops and buy like a new t-shirt because my shoulders hurt and I can't even think about going home in like, my crusty swimsuit. I'm like, no, I'll buy a new t-shirt. Like today is about me. Today is about beating the heat. And today is about luxury. So I will pay the price that Golden asks me to.
I don't know
just
if you
to do
guys
this.
have an answer to this. And maybe you do, Olivia. Are there like special shoes for the river that are expensive?
Oh, definitely.
Crocs.
Nah, because
aren't
Crocs fall off your
expensive.
feet and then they
Yeah.
float away.
No, you put them in sport mode, ma'am.
Okay, now you
Do you
sound
not-
like my husband. Yeah, you get Chacos or Tevas.
Ah.
I
that's what
have
those are
always
for.
done it. I've always done it in my Crocs with my Crocs in sport mode. Just if you've got any gibbets, take them off. You don't want to lose those guys. And yeah, I haven't had a problem.
Okay. I was just thinking of other ways you could spend money to enjoy the river.
How can we make this day more expensive?
You could buy yourself. How about you buy yourself a new pair of Crocs just for the river?
There
I
you go.
love
Match your swimsuit. Match your friends. Get a pair. Get friends matching Crocs for your day on the river.
I could get into that.
I would do it. I would 100% do it. I did it on a trip to New York with my two best friends. We went to the damn Crocs HQ and we bought Crocs. So it's not beneath me.
I love it.
So we're going to Golden and we'll give them everything. And we won't be sad about it.
You were going to go You were going to go enhance the economy of Golden.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty. Well, Peyton, how would you cool off if money was no object?
Oh yeah, my bougie beat the heat recommendation. I'm going in for a triple feature at a AMC theater. The bougiest of AMC theaters.
Are you going to camp
Love
there?
it. Love it.
3 movies?
Yeah, you're going back to back to back. That's like it's like 10 hours to kill in a movie theater. They're always way too cold. You pack your blankie. You got the cushy seats that recline. Some of them vibrate. I want it to be so cold that I have to turn on the butt heaters. Plus,
Wait, they have butt heaters?
Yeah, at the super fancy AMC. And then you've got full access to the snacks and the beverages. And I mean, I love going to the movies. And if I had all the money, I would just spend the entire day there. If I had all the money and no responsibility.
Yeah. I appreciate that you're leaning into the ridiculousness about movie theaters, which is everything costs $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
So why not?
So is this going to be like Barbenheimer Paddington 3 or something? Or what's your triple feature?
Oh God, I don't know. I have a newborn now, so we don't go to the movies. I couldn't tell you what's new right now. But I did want to share that I was looking at movie theaters and I found this piece in the Denver Post from John Wenzel, and he actually just wrote it earlier this year. And he rounded up all the different most theaters in Denver and what makes them awesome. So like the Denver's comfiest movie theater, Denver's prettiest movie theater, Denver's like most historical movie theater, best parking, best menu and service. So it was a really cool little read. So if you want to post up in a movie theater all day, check out your options. I recommend an AMC branch where you have to spend $24 for a ticket.
Okay, Paul, if you could spend any amount of money, how would you cool off?
All right, Bree, I'm going to spend $173. And I'm going to buy something. That's it. That's all I need. I mean, maybe a little bit
Does
for
that
shipping.
include tax?
In 2023 money, that's like not that much. That's like maybe a small grocery trip.
Shipping will be expensive. You're going to be ordering a bulky package. So Bree, you mentioned earlier a phrase that if you grew up here, you just like didn't mean anything to you because it just went past and it was second nature. Swamp cooler. But for people like me who moved here, who are transplants, maybe from somewhere that's less arid, a more humid climate, you're used to turning on the ceiling fan to cool down. That doesn't really work here. So what you need to do is you need to get one of those swamp coolers that pumps water into a fan. And I recommend the Hessair MC18M portable evaporative cooling fan. You can get that for $173 on Amazon, maybe a little cheaper at Home Depot. That's where I got mine a couple years ago when my AC busted. But yeah, swamp cooler is like an essential purchase for the hot times in Colorado if you don't have AC. And enjoy. Just get one, enjoy it. This model's great because it has a little hookup for your hose, so you don't have to like lug water back and forth. You can just connect it right to your hose line, flip it on, lie down in your couch, and just sit there all day, enjoy the cool air.
I like that perk. I remember my mom used to make me and my siblings fill the swamp cooler when it ran out, and we would have to fill up like a pitcher, and I'd be sloshing water all over the carpet as I tried to get it up so I could tip it in. And of course it took like 6 pitcherfuls, so I had to fond memories.
Peyton, you know what, I just want to ask you something really quick because you grew up here too. I recall growing up like no one had air conditioning. Like you literally did go to the mall to have air conditioning because no one I knew had it because I don't know if it just didn't get that hot or.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess I never really thought of it. I feel like most people I knew also had swamp coolers.
Yeah.
That was just that's what we did. Ours was huge. It was huge. And then you would fill it up and you'd stand right in front of it. And it was.
See, yeah, this is such a foreign concept to me. I come from the humid lands. I mean, we had central AC, but we also had a little something called the attic fan. So.
All right. I think, Bree, it's your turn. You got to bring us home. Your most opulent way to beat the heat in Denver.
So one of my favorite things about staying in a hotel is cranking up the AC, climbing under the blankets, and watching TV. And I was like, you don't often get to do that when you're in your home state. Why would you be staying at a hotel, right? Unless you're going up to the mountains or something. But I thought, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to go stay in a hotel for one night in Colorado, I'm going to go like all out. And so I am recommending the Great Wolf Lodge in Colorado Springs. Most famously, I would say it has an indoor water park, but it also has a putt-putt course, ropes course, an arcade. To me, it's one of those places that I bet is so air conditioned you have to wear a hoodie inside, which is like
You would
my
bet
ideal.
correctly. You would bet correctly. To make one, they need to make one in Denver. I think they should bring one out. I'm proposing by the airport because then you come in.
They have one kind of, except for it's out. Gaylord of the Rockies, that giant hotel has a water park too, but it's
I want
outdoors.
name brand.
So
I want name brand Great Wolf Lodge. I'm not compromising for my opulent day.
Okay, well this is our call then to Great Wolf Lodge. Please build one in Denver.
Please build one for me and give me a VIP pass forever.
I think that rounds us out. We've got 8 good recommendations for beating the heat. But we want to hear from you. How do you cool off when Denver gets crazy hot? You can call the Beat the Heat hotline at 720-500-5418. Leave us a voicemail with your name, neighborhood, and your idea, and you might hear it here on the show. This is so great. I feel like I'm walking away with so many good ideas.
I feel the same way. I just want to wish everyone the best of luck here. You know, it's going to get really hot.
Yeah.
We need to come together and make this the coolest August we can.
See y'all at IKEA.
Thank you, Paul, Olivia, and Peyton. I will see you at IKEA. Apparently.
Thanks, Bree.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell IKEA CEO Jesper Broden about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later.